All right, here we are. It is time for the breakdown. They just got through playing Age of Sigmar skirmish rules. So what did you think of the skirmish rules?
I like the skirmish rules. I think that the skirmish rules are neat because they give you the chance to really flesh out the abilities of your armies before you go out and make the full-blown army. So it's almost like a test run of your army because each model becomes an entire unit. So you get the opportunity to really experiment around and really get to use a lot of their features without having to set up the large army, or especially on some of the units, if you just wanted to see how the boar riders work, you can only play with one or two of them instead of having to field the whole unit of 3. So I like that a lot, and I think that's going to be great as we start to get more of the armies out there to really get that flavor of the army in a little bit shorter, a little bit tighter environment, as opposed to the grand wars that you're going to see when you play the larger battles.
Now you haven't played this at all, Janice.
I've played it the first.
Not the skirmish rules.
No, but I played the original.
Yeah, and do you still like it?
Yeah, of course. I like this version better.
You like the
because I could, like he said, you have you can use your abilities, I guess. Mm-hmm. Because like with the other version, I know there was so many like special cases where you couldn't use your abilities, and because you had to have specific like those keywords and stuff usually play a huge role in being able to use abilities. That's what I asked you. Right. But in this case, it didn't matter. But also, I like it because since you can move all the individual ones, you could do more at once instead of.
Right. Everything's much faster.
You guys, what I'm saying? You can spread it out much more.
Like you would never be able to do something like this.
Oh, this game would take 3 hours.
Well, because you'd have to try to move everybody, and they'd have to stay within an inch of each other. So you'd be trying to navigate through these little small. They'd have to form little lines.
That can get a little stressful.
Right. With the single unit, though, you can just kind of move them around, and so it's a much faster game.
I think it's more fluid.
Yeah, it's a lot more tactical because of the fact that you can now turn those guys on a dime, as opposed to the bigger game where you have to, like a pinwheel, you got to move the whole army around.
Well, what did you think? I mean, as far as the scenario itself, treasure hunt.
That was
I thought that
scenario.
That's a good scenario.
That was good because I felt like it made the game balanced. Like it didn't matter if I was killing him more because I mean if it was like take out your enemies, then I would have won. But it didn't matter because even after the battle shrug, it still gave him an opportunity to win because it just so happened how he placed himself. So I think it made it more fair. It kind of made it like it's fair game. And the disputing I thought was cool.
Yeah. For one-off, it seemed like a lot of fun. Yeah. The thing, I think where it's really strong is when you play the campaign and you're trying to get more renown.
Yeah, because you can really
like that, cause you
build up your characters and stuff, and they start to...
Because you'll build up your characters and you have your sheet, you keep a track of everything, you buy more players and stuff like that.
My only thing is like, you're going to laugh, but like, I feel like terrain gets more use if you have ranged weapons because then there's more instances where you can't hit. Yep. You get what I'm saying, or can hit. Like I feel like that would could speed up the game or slow down the game. But like I would have probably had a better opportunity to take that guy out there if I was able to hit from afar. But I was never able to even get that far because I was held up back there. If I had a guy who was able to shoot from afar, it would have made a different story. Maybe I would have won. Yeah, you don't know.
True.
I like also with the way that they let you make the warband however you want in the skirmish, and they break it down like order. So anything that is in the army of the order, you can put in your warband, and the same thing with chaos and all the different. So it lets you really build some very unique armies.
You can mix it up.
Yeah, that you could really put together. So I think it would be really neat to build a unique army to take out to battle to see how that would work. That was really neat. Another thing I like about Age of Sigmar, I mean, we're going to probably eventually kind of start to compare this, but the nice thing about Age of Sigmar, and again, we used it, and it had to do with how to get the setup and everything. With the setup, I forgot the book at home, my bad. But what's nice about Age of Sigmar is they have a free app on the phone, and Janice was able to pull up every bit of the war scrolls and get all of her units because they have that free right there on the iPad.
I actually screenshotted my war scrolls for this game, and instead of just flipping through the pages, I had it all saved on my camera. and it was easy for me to access everything.
That's going to be really nice because I know when we start talking about, when we start to compare to 40K, that's different. There, all of those stats are contained in the codexes and stuff. So really, if you're starting out and you really want to get your, kind of out there and see what is, what the GW's game system is like, Age of Sigmar, the skirmish battles specifically, might be a great way to jump into the hobby because it's going to cost you a lot less than building up a big 500-point army. You can go get a box set out there, and all of a sudden you're ready to play, and you can really kind of see what it's like, and then it lets you move around, and you can look at all the stats for all the different armies free on the app, which lets you then really experiment, and really you can do some research before you go out and spend money on the type of army because you can see all their stats.
Yeah, it was
and that's
cool.
really nice.
And it was really easy to navigate because everything's divided and everything's in alphabetical order. And to have something like that for free, I mean, remember when we were playing Pathfinder, I was only able to do the intro for free, and then I had to pay $25 every time to get further. So for me to have to learn the game even more would cost me an arm and a leg.
Exactly.
So.
All right. In a nutshell, on a 1 to 10, Janice, what do you rate this game?
8.
I am going to go a 7. I like it,
Thinking a 7.
but my style and what I like more, I like the grand. So I like to use this to kind of help me out, to kind of give me an idea of what the units can do. But I really love the big army on army battle, so I like that a little bit more. But for what it is, I definitely think it's a good 7.
Well, we'll have to do the army on army.
We will, yeah. Well, again, we've got other opportunities to do that.
I just like being able to beat you up, so I got an 8.
As long as I win, I'm pretty happy.
As long as I can kill units and get the high score.
Well, there you have it. All rated, all decided. And until next time, guys.
All right, I'm Mike. Yes. That's
and
great.
Miss Butterface.
I'm the midget.
The midget.
2.0 pint. Half pint.
And I'm cameraman today, so
Pretty princess.
for all of us, we'll see you next time. This has been Age of Sigmar Skirmish. Until next time, I'm
Say
out.
what?
We'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Peace.